Okay, ladies and gents, we got another big day. I lost 2.5 hours of sleep. I could have slept longer because I went up north where it's cooler. And I woke up and tried to go back to sleep twice and didn't do much good. So what a bummer I couldn't catch up on some sleep because I can only boondock to 70 degrees inside the vehicle. And then it gets too hot. It'll kill you. So I have to look at the weather report and where to go and what time to get up. Exactly on the money. I had to literally set an alarm so that I don't sleep past temperature rates. So I paid $31K for my brain, all my college education. So I really need to keep it. It really does a lot of damage to humans and animals and children in the heat in a vehicle. And it can kill you in 15 minutes and it can start wearing your brain out. And I really need to keep everything I got. So I have to be very, very, very careful. And I hate it. God, I really hate it. That's total honesty. It's a horrible, horrible life. Anyway, got some stuff done yesterday. Bought some food with some money that a guy spent with me. It's a boondocker who's trying to get his life back together. He works it like every day. And early in the morning to late at night. And I see him every once in a while, and he's a very nice person. Very, very nice person. And he's been through a lot, and he's just keeping it straight and working hard and trying to rebuild his empire. And he's not screwing around, that's for sure. And so the money that he spent with me yesterday, because he buys from me about every day in tools for his work, and it gives him more versatility of things he can do when he has the proper tools, especially scaffold. He bought that scaffold from me and he's just thrilled to bits for that. And I sold it to him dirt cheap. The whole idea is get rid of this stuff quickly so I don't have to pay, storage fees on these auction storages. And the way you get rid of it really quickly is to really get the price low, get it moved. So you can get it cleared out and cleaned out, because you gotta clean them too before you turn them back over to the complex. But anyway, so the money he spent yesterday buying some more stuff for me, I turned around and spent that at the store. That's right. I spent that at the store buying some good quality meat and veggies. I asked him what he liked. He had the barbecue. I had the money. Okay. He had a really nice barbecue he got from a guy that owed him money. I mean, it's the neatest thing. It's a propane barbecue, actually. You just screw a little tank on there, and it is the nicest big barbecue with temperature gauge, the whole thing. And it was actually a camping barbecue. It comes with a stand and everything. It's real nice. But I asked him what kind of vegetables he liked, and he was talking about stuff he likes to make on the barbecue. I said, "You can make that on the barbecue?" "Yep." And so he does tinfoil and prepares all the stuff, sticks it in a thing of tinfoil, rolls it up, closes it up, and he had all these little round things, big round things, and did something incredible, cooked cabbage on a barbecue. And I'd never had that before. And he said that the first time the guy did it for him, that he was like, "Oh, gross, I hate cabbage." And he's like, "No, you gotta try this." And so the guy cooked it up, and then he tried it, and he's like, "Man," and he eats it all the time. This is somebody who hates cabbage, okay? So that's pretty nifty. But anyway, yeah, so I took that money and offered him dinner if he would cook it. I was like, "Well, you got a barbecue, so if I go buy the food, will you cook it?" He said, "Well, absolutely." So I took his money and bought food, spent every bit of it, and So I got us some really great steaks. They're about 3 inches thick, and a bunch of veggies, and one sauce, and we didn't even use the sauce. Whatever it is that he does to that food is incredible. It just tastes outrageous. You didn't have to put any sauce or anything on it. It was just, I mean, it's like going to a fine dining restaurant. This guy really knows how to cook. And so, anyway, he was divorced kind of recently, or going through a divorce, something. And so, he's just trying to make it. And I admire people like that try. That's all that matters. Trying is it. Making that effort is really the difference. So, anyway, had a great dinner in an ultra short time, and chatted for a little bit, and then I went to go down to the gym to go get my shower again. I do like 3 or 4 a day because of working on those storages that get too hot. And so I was on my way down to the gym, and I got involved in some other work I had to get done. And then I was just ready to go to the gym, and realized it's a weekend night, so they were closed at 10. And so when I realized it was like 3 minutes after, and I'm like, oh no, yucky poo poo. So yeah, I was in the funky dirty mode. Couldn't wait to get to this point. I'm going to take the car and run it through the car wash again. And it's a shame I can't sit on top of it while it goes through. Run me through the car wash too. I used to say that. It was about certain folks years ago. I was like, well, you know, if you run it through the car wash twice, it'll be all right. But now I'm a candidate. Hair Club for Men. But yeah, so we're gonna run by and rinse this car off real quick. And I was just there yesterday. I think it was yesterday or the day before. And but I'm gonna go back again because I get as many times I want to use it on my monthly membership. So I'm gonna take it up there again. Florida, it's hard because, you know, you got the salt water and that wind, and the dirt gets blown all over your car and all that. So, yeah. And since I can't buff my car right now, which I could, I'm pretty sure there's power in that big commercial unit. If I get it cleaned out enough in time, maybe I'll buff it out. Or start to buff it out. I can't do it all at once anymore, because last time it hurt my arm when I fell down the stairs, and then it would never heal, and I'm trying to buff the car and wear a brace and everything, and it just would never heal. It was just horrible. I was moving at the same time and carrying boxes with one arm, and that's really hard to do. So let's go wash the car. Then I'll go wash me at the gym. And I got lots of work to do. I got 2 orders. One that's drying, and one I need to get out of a box to ship that's already finished. But I have to move a bunch of boxes to get to it, I think. I'm not exactly sure which one it's in. If it's on the back wall or on the side wall. So I have a feeling it's on the back wall, because it was some of the first ones I did. So, but it's ready. I just have to get it and get it packaged up for the customer. I got one order that was shipped back. I shipped it out in April. It came back end of April because obviously the customer didn't go get it. On that priority and insured and tracking number, they only give you 2 or 3 tries to get your product. And then they'll just ship it back. So they shipped it back to me, and the customer sent me a message yesterday, a whole another month later. I didn't get my order. I want a refund. And I send the tracking number 3 different places when they order from me. I only have to send it on one, but I do it 3 different places. Make sure they get it. And that they can watch for it. Because some people, they have porch pirates. I don't. I use P.O. boxes. That's how I do it. I don't have to worry about any porch pirate. So, I told her to check the tracking number, check with the post office, and see if they would pay to ship it back, which they're not going to. But the other problem is that the website that I'm using for the sales, that's a bit of a problem because they charge tax, they charge a percentage of your shipping cost and a percentage of the sale, and then also a percentage for the ad. So they get a cool little chunk out of there. It's like $5 or better on the item, depending on the prices and everything. So I try to ship everything just priority flat rate. That way it's real fast, it gets to them quick, because the post office is so sorry nowadays. It's like you really have to pray that the customer's going to get it. So I just do that priority flat rate, hoping to God they'll get it. But we'll see what happens on that deal. But I'll be excited. I told her, I said, see why they didn't deliver to you when you talk to them. And they're going to tell her exactly every place that package was, and they're going to tell her why they shipped it back. She might be one of those that just orders stuff all the time and then doesn't pay attention, and it's just like Christmas every day she opens the mailbox. But she might have been out of town or something, and that sucker came, and they notified her 2 or 3 times and she never got it, or they only gave her 1 slip. Sometimes they do that. They'll claim they went there 3 or 4 times and they only put 1 slip in. And it's like, so and then my post office in Destin is so crappy, they hate me. Because I will call the United States Postmaster every time they screw up. And they do it all the time. And one screw up they did when I first got that post office box, was I had ordered a bunch of printing and stuff for a company that I'm district manager of for like 5 years. And I went ahead and ordered it and used their logos, everything, and went ahead and had it printed in Canada, and then it had it shipped direct to me, because if it gets shipped to him, I'll never see that stuff. It will be in his truck, it will be in the office, it will be at his house, I'll never see it for weeks and months. He's real flaky like that. So I said, hell with it, I just order it myself. I don't have time to wait for you, because you keep asking and asking, it's never getting done. So I just went ahead and did it. And then after I got it, I showed him, and he's like, how'd you do that? I said, I used your logos and everything. I hope you don't mind. So now we have what we need. And he's like, great, I'll pay for it. I'm like, cool. I won't go to jail. But, yeah, we're best friends anyway. So I worked for him for several years. And he loves me. It's a terrible job, but I'm really good at it. And I really make huge money, like $300 a day working for him. But right now I'm not working for him. I do stuff for him for free, a bunch of stuff for free right now, helping him. We need employees at a location, and I've got to do an ad for that and stuff, help him. Because he's busy actually working it. So I know he doesn't have the time, and I've done it several times before. We're just real good friends. He's treated me super good through the years. We don't get along at all, but bottom line is the money was horrendous. So, and I'm getting ready to open a couple locations down in probably in Lower Florida. I'm not sure. I've got to go see if I can cut the deals, because I've had my eye on a couple spots for about 4 years. So we'll see what happens when I get time to do that. But Yeah. So they took that big giant order that I ordered from Canada, which I had to wait to have it printed and get the releases and all the artwork and all that crap. And then some new artwork I did, some advertising design, which I went to college for that too. And so I did some of that. And, it takes them, 3 or 4 weeks to get it ready to ship out. And they ship it from Canada. It's got to go through customs and all that other crap. And do you know that stupid Dustin post office gets that package? And I call them a couple times and ask them by chance if they have it, because I've got the tracking number. I can see where it's at. And they're like, nope. And it's saying it's there. And so I go down again, go into their office and show them on my phone where the tracking number is. Said it's been in Dustin for, a week. And they're like, nope, we don't have it. And they look it up, and it turned out the jerks shipped it all the way back to Canada. So I never could get the package, and they never notified me or anything. They just turned around and shipped it right back. And here I am looking for it like every day. So I was really upset. The nice thing is I've done business with that printing company for so many years out there in Canada. I've ordered horrendous amounts of stuff from them, but they were really nice. They told me they'd go ahead and reship it, and they didn't even charge me to reship it. And it was a big box. I'm talking heavy. I mean, I figured I would have already had to pay the shipping, even though the post office was retarded. But they didn't charge me. They went ahead and shipped it back. And this time they gave it, because I wrote a letter to the postmaster about it. Again, Postmaster General of the United States. So this time I finally got the package. They actually called me and said, "Hi, we have your package." I'm like, great, I'm 10 minutes away. I'll be right there. Thanks. You're a pal. Love ya. So, that old bar closed over there, and never, I guess, is reopened. Amazing. So anyway, yeah. Oh, you know what? I just took the wrong street. I shouldn't have took that Bob's street. I'll just turn over here and go back the other way. I can cut across. Because I gotta go to the car wash. That street doesn't go through. We'll take, I think, the next one. My paperwork's falling all over the car. Oh my gosh. So, bad kids. I was in line at the Walmart, and this guy, probably about 35, has got 2 small kids, a girl and a boy, and that girl was probably like 8, and the little boy is probably about 5, and they were in line, and he was going to buy like high dollar raccoon, not the cheap one, but the high dollar one, and something about, asked the little girl if she really wanted it for their playroom, and she was like, oh yeah. And then he'd already had it in his basket. He was sitting there at the checkout with me, and he was behind me, and then he asked the little boy, and he said, no, I don't like it, and or I don't care. And he said, okay, then we'll just put it up. So he grabs it out of the basket and sets it on top of one of the drink machines over there. And then it was so childish. And then he tells the little girl, well, he doesn't want it, so we're not buying it for the playroom. And then now she's throwing a fit. And then, he's jazzing with that little girl. Don't play with kids' heads like that, man. That's not even nice. And, but yeah, and he's jazzing with his little girl, and she's like, what? Oh no, we've got to have the raccoon. And he's like, well, he said that we didn't need it or something. He didn't want it, so we just won't buy it. And then the little boy says, you know what? I'm going home. And And so the guy says, yeah, well, just go ahead. So the little boy takes off, and he's hoofing it. Oh, yeah. Don't tell your kids stuff like that. So then he has to go chase the little boy down. He's like grabbing him by the arm, yanking him up in the air. And I'm like, here we go. I mean, that must be a real mental house to be in. Gosh, can you imagine everything that ever is said and done with those children, and somebody plays games with them like that? Jesus. It's like you couldn't wait to leave when you're of age. My parents were strict and proper, but they didn't play games like that. That just terrorizes little kids and stuff, and it's not necessary to put your children through that. But, and TV's terrible for children. Really, it is. I mean, I cried my eyes out when my dad threw the TV out into the trash. We had to go watch him. He made us go watch him. We cried. Oh my God, we cried. And, I mean, we watched, like, all educational stuff anyway, because we weren't really allowed to watch anything else. And everything else was stupid anyway. But, especially cartoonies. They just fry your brain, you know. But, I mean, hey, there's some people that really like them, but to me, it's a total waste of time. But yeah, it's if you start letting your kids get glued to that TV with some kind of video game thing, or just sit there and watching junk, they're not doing anything constructive and making their mind work. They're just sitting watching some glass. Like my dad used to say, you will get square eyes from watching that TV. And it really is true. I mean, it just doesn't do a whole lot for you. And, you know, if I watch anything, like I bought a Roku, and so I'm on there, like, you know, I do History Channel, and I'm, you know, watching all this really cool true stuff, you know, or investigations, CID investigations, you know, I watch true stuff like that. You know, something that I'm going to learn about, or, you know, be informed about. But I don't like to sit there because it's like I'm not burning any calories if you're like just sitting there watching some stuff. Now, my big thing is YouTube, and I love the Roku for that. I really miss having the Roku hooked up to my big TV and all that so that I could watch the YouTubers, because it's like they're sitting in my house when I have my house. It's the greatest thing in the world. And they're just life-size. So it's like they're sitting there in the front parlor with them, you know. It's really neat. And so I really enjoy watching YouTubers on there. The only thing is with the Roku, you can't get out of the commercials. They're mandatory to play through, so if they put a lot of commercials through there, you're stuck in it. And I was on one, I think it was Uberman Tampa when he first put commercials on his. And this one commercial played for 30 minutes, was still going. I was so pissed. Then I told him, I said, man, your commercials really suck. I said, one commercial that kept playing. And so what I'll do is I just turn that video off. I'll go to something else. And I go back later when I have time and can do it on my phone or something, because you can't get out of it on the Roku. So you're just stuck. You have to sit there and put up with it. And especially if they, you know, you can adjust your settings for your commercials if you want only before, or only at the end, or only in the middle, or you want, you know, just the front and the back of your vlog, or if you only just want middle, you can change it all around. And then you can just do it on the roll, the automatic roll, which it will play at the front, the back, and like every 30 seconds in your video. And when you start doing that, I'm clicking off your video, okay? And if you keep doing that, then I just unsub you. It's real simple. So, you know, that's just the way it is. And if I think about you, I'll go check your channel. So, don't slaughter me with a whole bunch of goofball commercials. Especially if I have my Roku hooked up, boy, because I do not have time for that. So, and right now I don't have free internet. So, and a lot of internet restricts you. Like if you get on Big Lots internet, you're restricted to just about everything. I gotta go this way. So you can, this will do an entry and exit over here. I didn't know that. Huh. This setup's pretty decent. They're the best vacuums I've ever used. Over here at Ronnie's, the very best vacuums I've ever used. But you know what? The last 2 times I washed my car, I didn't do it. And I'm not doing it today either. I have to be careful in that heat because I got so much work to do. I got to spend a lot of time in the heat. So, I try to stay out of it as much as possible. Washify. So it just read my little sticker they put in my window. And it told me, come on down. And we'll wash those pots and pans for you. So, here we go. Wee!